So, guys, let's put your hands together for our professional stand-up comedian, Saurabh
Saurabh
Kikani.
Kikani.
Welcome, Saurabh.
Let's hear a huge round of applause.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So first things first, let's get a few preliminaries out of the way. Some of you are asking yourselves, what's this white guy doing on stage? I want to just be clear. I'm actually 100% Indian. I'm Gujarati. I'm very light-skinned though, so I've got all the fake white privilege, none of the real white guilt. It's fantastic. Now, you guys have been watching a lot of show tonight, and you've been very supportive, you've been very patient, but that's a lot to absorb. So what I'm going to do is instead of just telling my jokes like I normally do, I want to get to know some of you guys a little bit, all right? So if you are South Indian, please make some noise right now. South Indians. Yes, okay, that's being represented very well. Okay, if you are North Indian, please make some noise right now. We got a few. Okay, that's good. Now, if you're non-Indian, and to be clear, when I say non-Indian, I don't mean an Indian who likes non. I mean not Indian. If you are non-Indian, make some noise right now. Oh, okay, so everybody else, stare at everyone who just made a noise right now. They're the good ones, okay? They are the good ones. We're going to pay attention to them. We live in weird political times right now. They're going to be our allies. We're here to celebrate, obviously, this amazing cause, but we're also here to celebrate Indian Independence Day, right? Guys, come on, Indian Independence Day. Let's give it up. Let's make some noise. Now, if I'm doing my math correctly, India is what, 72 years old officially? 72? 73? We have some debate. Some people say 73. Oh, you know why it's 72 and not 73? Because it's Mother India and a woman is always younger. All right, remember that, gents. Remember that. All right, so India is a nani now. India's a dadi, right? Like that's approached that age. And the story of India's independence is one of the most powerful stories in all of human history. It's a story of revolution. It's a story of profound ideas coming to the forefront and changing not just India, but all of humanity, right? But you have to imagine that someone like Gandhi, who was advocating nonviolent resistance, how amazing that idea is now, how influential it was for people like Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, all peaceful protests that we still see today. How strange that still must have been, like when it happened. Like imagine if you are a young, right, Indian guy or Indian girl, you're tired of the British, you're tired of their oppression, you start hearing whispers of this interesting man named Gandhi. And you don't really know what he's all about, but you know he's building an independence movement. And then one day, you're saying, he's coming into town? Well, I have to meet this man. I have to hear how we're gonna fight these British. And then you see him, and you say, oh, Gandhiji, I've heard so much about you. I don't really know what you're about, but I know you've built this movement, and we're gonna throw off British oppression. That's incredible because, they've used so much violence against us and we are ready to fight. How are we going to fight them? We're going to let them beat us. Wait, what? They've created famine, in this country and we've starved because of it. How are we going to fight them to address that? We're not going to eat anything. We're going to fast. What? Bro, whose team are you working on, honestly? Like, what I love to imagine with Gandhi is that, yes, he is this hero, right? He's the father of Indian independence, right? And he's changed the world, but he also, if you think about it, is like the weirdest Indian uncle ever, Like, he was still just a guy who had family, and he had the same family issues that a lot of us have, Like, I know I certainly have gone into some uncle and auntie's house before, and I know that the second before I walked in, they were talking about me and probably not nice things. Like, you know that there was like some guy, like it was Gandhi's brother-in-law, and Gandhi's coming over and he is just jealous of Gandhi and he can't stand Gandhi. He's saying, "No, Gandhi G, he's not a G to me, okay? You know, who does he think he is anyway, dressing like that? And who paid for his trips to South Africa anyway, huh? You know, who it was? It was me, okay? That duffer owes me 600 lakh for that trip. And I don't want to hear anything about his resistance. He can't do anything. He can't even wear clothes, yaar. And then the second Gandhi walks in, he's like, "Oh, Gandhi ji, namaste. Come on in. What can I get you?" Um, I I have I have this theory about Indian independence because India became independent after 1947 or in 1947. But no Indian is actually independent, right? No Indian is actually independent. The reason why? It's because we all have Indian moms and Indian dads, right? We have Indian father-in-laws and mother-in-laws, and the eyes are always watching. You're never actually independent, even if you're not Indian. You have Indian neighbors, you're not independent either. Your Indian neighbors are watching you, all right? The eyes are always, always, always on you. And look, for myself, I'm an Indian married man with an Indian wife. I lost my independence a long time ago, all right? In fact, I have a question for those of you in the audience. Are there any married couples here tonight? Any married couples? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, raise your hand if you're part of a married couple and both of you are here. I see both of you right here in the front. Could I ask you for a huge favor? Would you mind standing up? And I'm going to have one of the volunteers who works here, if you don't mind, please bring them around to the stage. We're just going to do a real quick, real easy Q&A. I promise it's not going to be anything embarrassing. Hey, that's on them. Yeah, all right, guys, give it up. Give our brave volunteers coming up on stage right now. Now, as they make their way up here, all right, I'm going to give a little bit of a preamble. We're celebrating not just Indian independence, but all of our history, right? All of our culture. And now, some people don't know this, but Indians invented the game of chess, one of the most strategic, intelligent games ever created. And do we have our folks here? Oh, okay. They're making their way right now. Okay, great. So come on out, guys. Please give them a big round of applause. Very, very brave. All right, sir, what's your name?
Murthy?
Murthy? Okay, and what's your name, ma'am?
Sure.
Usha. Murthy and Usha, everybody, please give it up for them. How long have you guys been married?
2001, that's 18 years.
18 years. 18 years. Now, as I was explaining to the crowd as you guys were coming over here, India invented the game of chess. Now, if you don't know how to play chess or if you haven't played in a while, what you need to know is that there are two figures in the game that are the most important figures, the king and the queen, all right? The king and the queen. Now, at a wedding, and after the wedding is done during a marriage, essentially, the man represents the king and the woman represents the queen, right? And so tonight, I want you to imagine that this is a big chessboard, and this is our king and this is our queen. And now here's how the game of chess works. Now, the king is in a very powerful position. This is all of his kingdom, and he can move anywhere on the chessboard, one move at a time. So, king, please take a step forward. Perfect. You just made your move as a king in your kingdom. Now, things in India have been a certain way for a long time. Things have not always been easy for women, but things are getting better, and I'm going to demonstrate that right now. The queen in chess, go anywhere you want, anywhere you feel like, as far as you want, as near as you want. Give it up for the queen, everybody. The queen. Thank you guys very much. All right. Honestly, that's the only reason why I brought you up here. Yeah. Yeah, good. Yeah, I told you it was gonna be simple. Guys, give it up. Very, very brave of them. Now, so I mentioned that I mentioned that I recently had gotten married, and I'd like to tell you a lot more about that, but I just got the signal that I've gone over my time. So talk to me about it backstage. We'll figure it out later. Thank you guys very much.